And he says immediately, you can see what is happening on the screen. This is a good argument by him, because what he's implying is, as a newcomer, as someone that doesn't know anything about the game, and you see a string on in the end game from PoE 1, most of the time it is really hard to see what the f is happening on the screen, because the dude is going Hey guys, I have this video here that is a compilation of the best moments of the interview. Jonathan did an interview or a podcast with Carnage and his crew. Dropped Frames is the name of the podcast, but it is a long conversation. There is no way in hell I react to the whole thing. But this channel did a little compilation with the best moments, so I am going to instead watch this so we can address the important stuff. So let's just do it, brother.
Like two groups of people, right? There's people on one side who don't like PoE 2 because it's not PoE 1 and it's way slower. And then the other side, which is the side I'm on, I don't like it because it fucking sucks.
Though, because
brother, no,
that is one of the
I love it. It is awesome, dude.
things with the Huntress, I think that's been really interesting is that, and this is maybe going to sound a bit bad, but it's like most of the time when I'm watching a streamer playing the Huntress, they're playing it not as I would play.
Judge me, Jonathan.
You
tell
can
me,
say,
tell me that I suck.
Brother, we need the recording or the stream or whatever of how Jonathan plays his Huntress, because he's saying, oh, these people are playing Huntress wrong. Basically, that is what he's saying, dude.
Jonathan,
You can
I
say
wanna
wrong.
hear
You can say that. You can be like, most of the time I watch viewers play the Hunters, they're playing it wrong.
But the thing is, I mean, look, at the end of the day, though, it's like, okay, people, if people aren't like playing in a way that I expect, it's because we haven't communicated the way we want people to play it, or people have tried it and they've not enjoyed it and that kind of stuff, right? So that's, at the end of the day, it's always on us still.
That is the perspective you need to have as a developer. Understand that you are God inside the game, and if people are not doing the things the way they are supposed to do them, it is because the way you are supposed to do it sucks dick. So you have to fix that, dude. Dude, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why are you like this? Just click the button, my dude. It is quick, it is easy, it is free. You get content, I get a sub, win-win situation. Just click the sub button, my dude.
But then obviously there are people who are like, you know, I find parrying awkward, I don't like, you know, this or that or the other thing.
Yep.
And then for those people,
who would ever want to do this?
That's way better. So if it had been launched in that same pack, I think we
ever.
might have got quite a different reaction from that
Weakest
class
thing in the
particular.
world,
Of course, there's like
Shadow
many other things that
missing.
people are unhappy about as well, which we're kind of working on.
Sure.
But, you know, like that, in terms of that particular like class reaction, I think that would have changed things quite a lot.
Yeah. You mentioned pairing, and as someone who has about 60-ish hours on the Huntress, currently tier 15 maps, I haven't parried since I was like level 10. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Base,
To hear that
exactly.
a player
You guys know my opinion on this. And if you are new and you don't know, parry sucks dick. Nobody wants to parry. Then comes one dude and tells you, yes, dude, I want to parry. The majority of people don't want to parry. They say that way then, dude. Parry sucks dick. It doesn't have a place in this game. Fuck parrying.
just completely disregarded maybe
Even
the core
casuals,
element of,
guys.
a core element of the class for you.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, I suppose, but it is something that I think that it was a blind spot for me.
Have you ever thought about streaming your own gameplay? Would you ever?
Yes, please do it. Please do it. And by the way, I am not saying it in the way. There are haters, there are PoE haters that say, oh, I want to see Jonathan or Mark actually play the game, the stream, because they probably suck and they don't know what is happening or whatever. I am not saying it that way. I am saying it because I truly want to know how they think the game is supposed to be played, and that way we will have a better understanding of the vision. I know the word the vision is a meme at this point, but you understand what I'm trying to say. If we see their gameplay, that is basically looking at how they think the game is supposed to be played, and that way we will better understand why they make the changes they make or something like that, or where they are trying to take the game to. That is why I want to see this stream of them playing, or a recording if it is not a stream.
Open up the almost.
Could you ever
Pandora's
show us how to
box.
play a huntress?
Yeah, like just
actually
I see that question so much from the community. Like, well, how do you play it then? And I think it would, do well.
This thought crossed my mind actually in the last week, I must admit.
Yeah.
And I kind of I think what I'll do next time when we play like between the week where we announce you know, like do our live stream and announce the class and the time when we actually you know, like have the release. I think I actually might do some development streams and just like sort of show people
that'd be cool.
It's interesting because
awesome.
This is going to be cool, and I imagine Druid is going to be the next class, right? I imagine Druid is to be the next class. And I have some news for you guys. If you go and you watch, in fact, let's do that right now. Let's do that right now because I am like this. I have to see this right now. If you watch the gameplay for the Druid, you will realize that it is also, you are heavily incentivized to play combos in the Druid. Heavily incentivized to play combos with the Druid. So I have bad news for you. If you thought that you were escaping combo shed, the Druid is also being designed for doing combos. This Stampede shed combos with another shed. You yell to combo another shed. He explains it in this video. You can go and watch it. It is Path of Exile 2, 13 minutes of Druid gameplay. But basically, every skill interacts with other skills in some way, incentivizing. Look, the Stampede works with the volcano, so the volcano throws more projectiles if you stampede over the volcano, right? So, the Druid is also combo-oriented. Why is this important in this aspect? Because they are... he's saying, well, next time I introduce a class, I am thinking about showing how to play the class, right? If the Druid is the next class, then this video will be important because it is another combo-oriented class, at least in terms of the bear, in what they showed for the bear. I don't know if there is a wolf, if casting also works this way, but for the bear form, it is like that. So this is important, dude. Send you another bit Discord messages, okay? I will check it out in a bit. But isn't that a problem though? In PoE we discover builds and shit, and in PoE 2 they are making it how it's supposed to be played. Exactly, I agree with you, Ace. You are saying something very important. And I have heard Queen also complain about this, and he's right too. One of the cool things about PoE 1 is that you were able to play however the fuck you wanted, right? Everything is open, you do whatever you want. And I am okay with some streamlining to make things a little bit like less complex or less combinatorics, so not everything is out in the air and you know more about this stuff if it is a little bit more streamlined. But that is not what they are doing. They are just reducing what you can do so much that you end up being pigeonholed to what you need to do. And when you say you are supposed to play the class this way, you are pigeonholing me even more. You are telling me how to play the game. That is not what PoE is about, right? So you are correct with that statement, dude. And this is one of the criticisms that I made a lot of times, and this is in several of my videos when covering Diablo 4. I criticized this in Diablo 4, that you were pigeonholed into builds. Of course, in PoE 2, it is not as drastic as in Diablo 4, but it is still kind of the same philosophy that is happening in here. They are reducing the amount of options you are given. And there shouldn't be the way you are supposed to play. It can be in general, like dodge roll, hit mechanics. It can be in general, like take 75% on your resistances. Like these are things that we all should do, right? Because it improves your gameplay. But not pigeonholing me with a class, with a skill, with a combo skills also do this, by the way. If you really think about it, also conceptually combo skills can be cool, and the interactions when you play the game is also kind of cool. When you make one skill interact with another skill, you are basically making it that I have to take these two skills together. So you are reducing the amount of skills that I can take, because it doesn't make sense to take a different skill, because this skill goes with this one. And that also reduces my variety in what I can take, right? So this is also. You kill me when you compare me with Queen. Say less. Hey, I didn't compare you with Queen. I said that Queen also said that. So, well, you said something that Queen said, but that doesn't mean that you are like Queen, right? It is not a direct comparison. It is just that you guys said something similar. But also because a lot of people are saying this, dude, because this is true. It is fucked up, dude. It is fucked up. It is true that they are kind of pigeonholing builds in PoE 2. I like a little bit the simplification because for me, that I don't have the experience in PoE 1, it is a clusterfuck trying to figure out something. But don't turn it into fucking Diablo 4 either, dude. Of course, combos are cool. No problem with combos, by the way. Yeah, combos are cool, but they also kind of do what I'm saying, right? They make you take abilities that go together. They are still cool, but also reduce the amount of possibilities. If you decide to go with an ability that combos with another, you are basically making the choice to also take that one. It is a combo choice you are making, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess there's no real reason I shouldn't do that. Like, I mean, it's probably.
I mean, you're going to
probably
get
fine,
criticized, of course, but like,
of course,
you're going to do that regardless of if you stream or not.
Well,
you know, when
exactly.
The internet is
That is also true. People are going to criticize the game. Happens what happens. So why not the streaming? Of course, crybabies are going to nitpick it. Oh, of course he thinks this because he's doing this. You know that is going to happen. But it can also be beneficial for us to see what is their vision for the game.
is screaming. How do you like cut the noise and figure out exactly what is actually
This is a good
at
question.
fault?
well,
Being
the
good game
key
designer.
thing really is that I'm never going to make a change unless I can reproduce the suck for myself. We made a bunch of people who
Okay. This comment can be interpreted in two ways, right? He's saying the question was a really good question. How do you separate the stupid whining complaining of people who don't know what the fuck they are talking about from actual feedback that you can use to improve the game, right? This is a good question fundamentally. And the way Jonathan answers it is, I am not going to make a change if I can't reproduce the sucking part, the problem for myself. This comment Jonathan said in here can be interpreted in two ways, right? This, I only make a change if I am able to reproduce it for myself and see that it sucks. This can be taken as a good thing, and it can also be taken as a bad thing. For a good thing, it can be taken that we have a developer that actually tests the game by playing it and is able to see that something indeed sucks. And this, of course, makes it able to separate the bad feedback from the good feedback, as the question is asking, which is, by the way, a very good question. So yes, it allows him to separate the good feedback from the bad feedback, because there are players that are just complaining, that don't know what the fuck is happening, and they just say, hey, I'm not having fun, but don't know why they are not having fun. So they need specific issues, and they explore it and see what is actually happening to be able to fix it in the best way possible for the most amount of people possible. So it is a good thing, but it can also be interpreted as a bad thing, like saying, this dude is not making a change unless he is able to reproduce it. So he's invalidating my gameplay unless he's able to do the same thing. So he's invalidating a big part of the player base when he says this, right? Because if I am doing a niche thing or a specific thing in a pinnacle encounter and he doesn't do that, then my issue is never going to be addressed because he's not reproducing it. So this can also be taken as a bad thing because he's invalidating the experience of a lot of people if he's not having the same experience, right? Or if he's not able to reproduce said experience. So this can also be taken badly. How do I take it? I take it in the middle because I can see both sides. I can see it being a positive and I can see it being a negative. What I hope is happening is that not every decision is taken by his personal experience, but also there are other people in the team that say, hey, Jonathan, I played this particular thing and it sucks dick. We have to do something about it. Maybe even show it to him. So it is not just like if he's able to reproduce it, but is if anyone in the team is able to reproduce it, and that way it will be way better, right?
Thought, and maybe this is going to come out slightly wrong, but like they thought they knew how to play the game, feel like that they suck now, and that is a bad feeling.
Well, they learned.
Basically a skill issue. Like what he's saying is you had a good time in season 1 because shit was easy and you thought you knew what you were doing, but you don't know what the fuck you are doing. And I don't know what I think about this, because a lot of people also thought that season 1 wasn't easy. So I don't know.
Right,
that's a big gaslight.
Right?
You said you were
Yeah.
nerfing the
So
top
effectively,
end
it's like
of the most egregious abilities.
There were
You
a lot
nerfed
of
everything,
things
including
that I would
campaign.
say
Hey, this is true. What Queen said is true. It is good that we also have, in this video, we also have a little bit of commentary by other creators. What Queen said is true. They nerfed everything. Unintentionally, they said that it was unintentional, but it happened. The point is that it happened. It doesn't matter if it was intentional or not.
You know, like, well, okay, effectively,
don't
any change
gaslight
can do this,
Jonathan.
right? It's like if you've got a thing.
I ended up getting good and I ascended, and you know, I got the power that I wanted from that.
Brother, that picture goes hard as fuck, dude. Look at that picture, dude. That picture is insane, dude. I love it.
Account sharing's been in the spotlight recently.
Ooh,
You
the
guys have
Elon
had,
question,
like, a
the
pretty
Elon
strict
question.
rule regarding that, as well as
Elon, man.
RMT in the past. Is there ever going to be any action on that front? Is that a special
Are you
case?
waiting for 1.0?
Do you have
It's
anything to
just-
say?
It's just nothing. I don't think I've got anything to say about this particular issue.
I figured as much. I figured I would ask.
Basically, he's not going to ban Elon.
That's good luck with that.
And he doesn't want to say anything about it to not piss people off.
Dude, why is he so spoilers about that? Afraid of controversy, and they're just playing it passive because they don't want controversy.
Yeah, they don't want to work with Elon. Why do it? The dude is the owner of Twitter. Maybe he can fuck them up with Twitter or whatever. They don't want to go to war with him. I am not saying this is good or bad because the dude broke the rules, but I also understand it from a business perspective, not wanting to ban him, right? Some people say, oh, it is unfair, so money and influence can make you break the rules and not face the consequences. Yes, welcome to the planet Earth, motherfucker. It has been like this for thousands of years. Yes, money and power and influence can make it so that you don't have to face the consequences of some things. So, yes, it happens like that, brother. Bad news. So, my dude, yes, of course, a special treatment is fucked up, but it happens soon. I understand both sides. I understand that we want him to get banned because he broke the rules blatantly. And it gets you pissed off that if you do it, you are banned and he's not getting banned. But I also get Gigi's perspective of not wanting to go to war with him because, let's keep it calm, he's giving, first of all, this can impact you negatively, and second of all, having him on your side is impacting you positively. He's advertising the game to thousands of people that don't care about games, and maybe you keep up, you get some players from there, you know, some new players just because Elon is talking or streaming the game. So it is in their best interest, business side speaking, to not ban him. So I understand both sides, dude. As Empyrean Gaming once said, and he got cheat for it, life isn't fair. Yes, it isn't fair. I didn't know he got cheat for that, dude. Why? What did they tell him, dude? Because everybody knows this. Life isn't fair at all, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad, though. Account sharing is in PoE is like least of the problems. Yep. What's up, brother? Hope your day has been good. It has been awesome, Ray, bro, my dude. How has your day been, dude? I hope it has been awesome too, dude. Thank you for stopping by, dude.
Maybe, and that's the best case scenario, is they're just being a bit of a pussy, and they know he's cheating, but they don't want to ban him because then there's going to be some level of outrage because he'll make a tweet saying, "Oh, woke DEI game took me out because I support America.
Probably.
And then you'll get a bunch of fucking tards going, oh my god, the Lord, the God Elon Musk, how could you possibly ban
Bro,
him
Queen
from
is
the
fucking
game?
awesome, dude. I love
this
Queen.
company running a game must be bad. But the thing is, that wouldn't happen. Everyone just deserved, you fucking retard. Deserved, you fucking cheater bitch. They would smoke a pack on his ass. And they would just do the fingers to him. And everyone would just collectively laugh and spit on Elon. Which is what should happen when you fucking lie about being good at a video game whenever it's just complete fucking fake news.
That speed exists here. Let me pull up Fubgun's stream. Like the PoE 2's or PoE 1
Look,
speed.
but immediately, right? You understand what is happening on the screen right now.
Yeah.
This is a good argument by Jonathan, by the way. They are presenting to him the fastest build right now, which is the Lightning Spear on a raw amount. Fobgun going crazy as always. And he says immediately, you can see what is happening on the screen. This is a good argument by him because what he's implying is that when you see as a newcomer, as someone that doesn't know anything about the game, and you see a string on in the end game from PoE 1, sometimes or most of the time it is really hard to see what the fuck is happening on the screen because the dude is going and you don't know what the fuck is happening, dude. So this is a good argument by Jonathan. The other issue that I can see with this being a problem is an issue that we are going to talk about later, and is that everybody is playing this build. Over 50% of people are playing Lightning Spear because it is the only build or one of the few builds that make the game actually feel good. So that is why people are playing this build, Jonathan, dude. So what you have to do is make the other builds feel good too.
You see the lightning bolts going out. You see the mob. Yeah. It's not quite like just a Picasso of fast images.
Exactly, right? So it's like, and this is the reason why I'm always hesitant. People are like, are you wanting to slow the game down? And then it's like, well, I mean, I want, to be honest, this is not even as fast as it can go, right? Like, so, as I said,
Sounds like what people
exactly,
are
can
saying
go
is
faster.
they want the game.
But the problem is this build. It is specifically this build, Jonathan, exactly. And I understand that what you are trying to say is the game is not as slow as people say. And the good thing, in my opinion, is that it is not as fast as PoE 1 and it is still understandable what is happening on the screen. So that is cool. That is cool. But still, you know that there are a lot of builds that are not like this one. Try playing a Rolling Slam Thunder Warrior and come back to me, dude. I know it because that was my very first build that I took all the way to Pinnacle content in Season 1. It is slow as fuck. And when you play a fast build compared to that one, you see that you were basically wasting your fucking time trying to make Rolling Slam Thunder work because it sucks. It sucks in comparison. So yeah. They should get melee focus mount next, even the us. Yep, I agree with that. But then it becomes a problem that everybody is on mount, and I think that I don't like the mount. Right? I don't know. I don't know. Although I do agree with you in the even the odds thing, at the same time, I don't want to be fighting mounted on the fucking road. I don't want. What I mean by that is, like, from time to time it might be fun to do a build with that. But what I mean is that I don't want the game to be devolved into everybody's playing mounted. I want it. If you want to play mounted, you can, but it is not the default option to play mounted. That is what I am trying to say. Asmongold versus Elon Part 2. Oh, I watched the Asmongold video looking at the Elon when he died in hardcore, and it was funny as fuck. He was playing in the airplane. It was really fucking cool.
Game sped up at the beginning.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, you know, is the goal to slow the game down from Path of Exile 1? And the answer was always the same thing. It's like, no, there's still going to be fast builds. Like, at the top end, it'll be a little slower, but like that's not the goal. That was a lie.
Well, that is what they just showed with Lightning Spear, right? It is fast as fuck in terms of PoE 2, but in terms of PoE 1, it's slower, which was the point. So, If you only think about lightning speed, then it wasn't a lie. But if you think about 95% of all the other builds, then yes. But in here, Ben is implying that being faster is better. And I don't know if I actually agree with that. Being more fun is better. The problem is that the slower builds are not fun. Maybe the reason why they are not fun is because of the speed. Maybe. I don't know. We have to look into it. But maybe it is also because of the skill rotation. Maybe it's because of power, because they don't kill shit and you like killing shit. I don't know. I don't know. We have to look into it, you know?
Like, that was just a lie, right? Like 100%, start to finish, that was a lie. That was no.
To Jonathan, telling him to play Rolling Slam and to come back to you talking about fast gameplay. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, if you play Rolling Slam at level 90 in tier 16 maps, you will see that this shit is slow as fuck, clunky as fuck. It is not the same as playing the fucking lightning speed. It is not even in the same realm. And there is no way you can get that build fast, by the way. It is just slow as a design. I think people quick to judge and say that they are lying to you, but they could have simply changed their views in the matter and not meant to be malicious. Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. And let's be honest, we know for a fact that several times during the development of PoE 2, they have changed their minds. Like the biggest one is that PoE 2 was going to be an add-on for PoE 1, or it was going to be combined with PoE 1, and they changed their mind and they made it its own game. So that is like the biggest one that you can see. And this happens in a game in active development. You realize that you want something to be different and you do it. And what Jonathan is saying is also true. Like the game is, when you are in the top end, like lightning speed again, the game is not slow. But it is slower than PoE 1, right? So, but again, my point being, it only happens with lightning speed or maybe a couple other builds, Jonathan. But the majority of people are not experiencing that. The majority of people are rolling and slamming like idiots, like me in the first season, you know. I love your video on Concord. I thought I'll check you. Take care, brother. Oh, brother, thank you very much, Alexander, my dude. Have a great day, dude. And thank you for the love, brother. Thank you for passing by, dude. I hope you have a great night. And remember, we stream every day. You can hang out any day, dude. You can hang out any day. The game is also 0.2 early patch. It's not done. Exactly. I agree with that too. It's in active development. They can change their mind on something the day before actual full release, you know. Hey, I don't like how this is, and boom, they change it. What is the problem?
Close to the truth. The game, it's clearly intended to be a lot slower. An Act 1 character in Path of Exile 1 is faster than
and thank God for that.
Path of Exile 2.
Like, I actually, yesterday, like I was talking to Mark, you know, about all of the, you know, all of the stuff, and the thing that he said to me is, like, he sort of had to remind me of that fact. Like, he's like, look, the retention of this PoE 2 launch, like in terms of concurrent users on like weekend to weekend, is higher than any PoE 1 launch we ever had before.
Right.
So it can't be that bad.
I told you guys this the other day. It's also true. We think that the world is burning because we are hitting the people that are vocal on Reddit or on Twitter talking shit about the game, and on YouTube because being negative not always gives views. Like, there are people that think that being negative gives views, but that is not what gives views. What gives views is agreeing with the sentiment that the community is already having. So if the community is having a negative feeling towards a patch and you are negative, then you get views. But if the community has a positive feeling towards a patch and you are positive, then you get views. But if you do the other thing, you get bashed to death. Trust me, I lived it because I was positive about the patch and people were negative about the patch and people told me I was wrong. So It is not true that always being negative gives views. But in this case, since being negative gave views because you were agreeing with the sentiment of the community that was complaining on Reddit and on Twitter, and the people that actually look for content on YouTube to watch about the game, then it gave views this time, right? But when you look at the whole player base of people that don't look for a build guide, or people that look for a build guide but they don't care about anything, they just play the game to have fun. Maybe they play 1 hour a day, 3 hours on the weekend, I don't know. They are having the time of their life, or some of them, or a lot of them. So then you have a good graph, a good retention, or however you want to call it, right? So it is good that Mark pointed this out to Jonathan. And this also makes me think that Jonathan was stressed out. Like, he didn't say it, but it is what is implied. Guys, I like reading between the lines and looking at what people is saying without saying it, right? I try to do it. Not all the time I can do it, but I try to do it. And what is being said in here between the lines is he was stressed out about the negative feedback. Jonathan was. And Mark had to say to him, to calm him down, dude, don't worry about it. We still have good numbers. If it was as bad, we wouldn't be having these numbers. So chill, dude, chill. So what this means to me is that when it's a huge amount of negative feedback, like the one we had at the launch of the league, it gets to Jonathan, dude. It gets to Jonathan. That is what I am trying to say. I just still don't understand why people are so mad. PoE1 had plenty of missteps and messed up bad. I don't understand this much Victor. Because they are mad, because they are not getting updates for PoE1, because they are working on PoE2, so they are having to play the worst game of the two, and they fuck them in the ass or whatever, and they want PoE2 to be PoE1, and I please pray to God that that isn't the case, that doesn't ever happen. Let PoE2 be its game, and let PoE1 be its game, and then we will have two awesome games that are different in their own way, but similar, to play all the time if they stagger seasons, and it will be awesome. If the two games are the same game, then what is the motivation to stagger seasons and to go back and forth if they are the same bullshit? Plus, we know that when PoE2 is actually fully developed, they are going to import a lot of the good stuff from PoE2 to PoE1, so the two games will be fucking awesome, dude. Okay, yes, but isn't it only because of the people that are vocal that we get the positive changes? Any thoughts? No, I agree with you. Like, the whole thing that I said about being negative on the views, I was just explaining, because there are people that say being negative gives views. So when I upload a video that is negative about something, people say that I am doing it because being negative does views. And this doesn't happen only to me. It happens to every fucking YouTuber, streamer, whatever, to every person that uploads videos. So I am explaining that that is not the case. What gives views is reinforcing the idea the community already has. If you do that, that is more views. I didn't do it because I didn't feel it, and I want to always say what I want to say, even if it doesn't give me the amount of views that it could be giving me, you know. But yes, I agree that giving feedback, giving critical or whatever is like a lot of the changes they make at the speed they made them was because of the backlash. And that is exactly what I am trying to say in here. This comment that he made indirectly told to us that he is listening to that feedback, and it gets to him when it is too negative, and it stresses him out to the point that they have to do something about it, right? So yes, I am reinforcing that. I won't listen to the streamers. They just want PoE1 remaster. Not all, but some. Bro, people are mad just because they are passionate about the game. Nothing to do with PoE1. A lot of them has to do with PoE1, brother, because... And yes, I agree with people who are passionate about the game, because I also feel that way in a lot of cases. When I complain, no, trading sucks and this thing sucks, or support gem sucks, like the other day, it is because I want to see it improve. So yes, a lot of the times it is like that. But you have to also agree that there is a big component of players that are, yes, mad because PoE1 is not getting updates. That they have 1 year in one league and PoE1 is not getting updates. And that makes them mad. And when they think I've been supporting this company for 10 years with supporter packs and tabs or whatever, and they took that money to put it into the game that I don't like, and then the game that I do like is not getting updates, that makes them mad. And I understand it. I understand that perspective. That is not a crazy perspective to have. I completely understand it. But this group exists. Yo, Carlos, how you doing, papi?
I mean, it's a
bit of a view anti-tech, though.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand. You have to put things in perspective, right? These are the tough questions, and so I apologize beforehand. Community loves to speculate, and I guess so do I. With that said, can you talk about Chris Wilson and kind of where he's been? There's not really been any official statement anywhere.
He said it the other day in the other interview. I remember. I watched that interview. They asking him this, and he said he just went to do his own thing. There is no black blood or anything. Nothing. There was no fallout. Nothing happened. We still speak daily, but he just didn't want to work in there anymore, and that's it. So he said that in, I don't know if it was with DM Angasi or with C. I don't remember with who he did it, but I remember him saying this. Doing good, brother. Tanking the game because I am bored. Okay.
GG about that. I think we've had a couple things like third party, a fourth party, but is there anything official you could say where Chris has been?
I mean, he hasn't been working like day to day at our company for quite a long time.
Yeah,
and then recently he also retired from the board. But
okay,
there's nothing really much else to say about it.
Gotcha.
Really.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any drama, but it just people.
I still talk to him every day, just online.
Thinking on this, when you get to a situation where you are having to personally choose between something that is more fun or more balanced, how do you approach that?
So
I will tell you what is before he answers, and I don't know what he's going to say. I will tell you the correct answer to this question, and it is fun. As a game developer, you should always prioritize fun above anything else. So if you have to choose, and if you are a good designer, you shouldn't have to, or you will always have to some cases, but you should have to diminish the way you are forced to choose between the two. Because a lot of times it will be a spectrum, a give and take, right? You always choose fun. Fuck balance if it gets in the way of fun. Fun is always more important, dude. And you know that I am always right. So you know how it is, dude.
The development team, I would say I'm usually the one who is pushing for more fun over more balanced.
Okay, nice.
There are
I love it, dude. I love it.
On the team as well for like people who have to who have to make sure that the balance is good.
Dude, this is so troll, man. 3 of them? Are we sure?
And in Simulacrum is bullshit, by the way. This is one of the things that I want to see them nerf. And I was disappointed when the patch came out and they didn't say anything about nerfing Simulacrum. Why the fuck are you not nerfing Simulacrum? It is basically impossible for 98% of builds, dude. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, well, my point is that we can't dismiss every comment or basically people being mad with, you some PoE 1 Andy, and I hear this as, some PoE 1 motherfucker. In my opinion, it's just people who want the game to be better. Yes, I totally get you, man, and that is why I also told you, yes, there is constructive criticism, and yes, there is passion, because I also do it too. But you have to know that there are 2 groups of people in there too. Yes, some people that want the game to be better because they are passionate about the game, and I would include myself in that group, and I don't even play PoE 1. And in that group are people who play PoE 1 and people who don't play PoE 1, a big group of people that I would include as the majority of people that play the game. Because if you play the game a lot and you put a lot of hours in the game, you want the game to be better. And sometimes when we get feedback, we get passionate and agitated because we want the game to be good, and we have, I don't know, emotions in the game or whatever. Not big emotions like something personal, but enough to be passionate about it, right? But there is also a group of PoE1 players that just want PoE2 to be PoE1. Like, we can't deny that reality. Maybe the group is not a big group. Maybe we shouldn't totally dismiss their opinion. But it is a reality that these groups exist. So what I am trying to tell you is that not all the group is the other one, and not all the group is this one, right? There are two groups, or even many more groups. There are overlappings, there is everything. But don't deny the existence of this group. But yes, the majority of players there are a lot of players that don't even play PoE1. There are a lot of players that play PoE1 and don't want PoE2 to be like PoE1 because they want the two games to be different, as I said earlier, so they can go back and forth between the two and have different experiences, although they are similar. But there is a vocal group that likely is a minority that just want PoE2 to be PoE1 with better graphics. Let's be honest, this group exists too. But yes, I agree with there are a lot of people that are just passionate about the game. It's not the game is perfect, but a lot of people have this bitterness because Blaster got everything they want in PoE1, but they can get that same kicks in PoE2. Yes, there is a group that thinks that. But PoE1 exists. I want PoE2 to be different. It's all I'm saying. And I love PoE1. It's the greatest RPG, by the way. I know, Russell, that you love PoE1 because sometimes when I have said some shit about PoE1, you said, hey, that is not true. So I know you like PoE1. And you are one of those players that I just mentioned. That you like PoE1 and you like PoE2 and you want them to be different, to have different experiences, although they are similar, and you can play both games. And you know what? I think that is the most base position, by the way. Even if you have a preferred one, everybody is going to have the preferred game, obviously. And you prefer one, it is based on wanting to play the two different things, right? And enjoy them both. And a lot of the criticism, because I do it too, comes from passion, of course. And by the way, the group that wants PoE2 to be PoE1 with better graphics is also being passionate. They are passionate about PoE1. They love the game so much that they want this game to be like that too. So it also comes from a place of passion. But the developer has to have the insight to separate or to actually do what they need to do. Basically. Just give me edgy blood magic and more cooler looking abilities and I am good. Brother, cool looking abilities is fun. And as I said, prioritize fun always. But I told you the other day in another video, I don't remember what the fuck we were doing, but I told you. My take or the way that I approach the game to decide what build I am going to play is, before thinking about if the build is powerful, I think about, is this build cool? Do I think being this guy that put ballistas and nukes people from the sky, is this cool? And I say, yes, this is cool. I want to play this. And then I ask, does this build suck dick? And if the answer is no, I want to play the build. Because it is not, is this build good? Because then you only have a handful to choose from. And that limits my options. But if I only see that it doesn't suck, then I can play me builds and everything is fine. So I don't choose a build because it is the most powerful. I choose it if it is viable and it's cool. So I agree with that statement, dude.
What is this? This is
That is
so
stupid in the simulacrum, dude.
Three.
Holy, this whistle is taking me for
Did
a ride,
the
guys, this
interview
whistle is taking me for a freaking
end?
ride, man. Hey guys,
Oh no,
look,
they
I
will
killed
get
a-
back
I
to the
killed a wisp,
interview.
dude.
Okay, it is just
Where's my
different
loot?
clips in there.
Where's my loot? Oh, there is no loot. Okay, cool. Next.
A lot of people are saying that the wisps are not rewarding enough.
They aren't.
And
It is
they
true.
should mathematically be. Like, those things give like 300% better, like more. Well, okay, it's not more items. It's more like more the number that we use for like rarity that increases the drops, how good they are, right?
Right.
And it also gives two extra drop slots. So effectively, like, there's no reason why they should feel unrewarding, but they do. So therefore, I need to understand what's going on with that. And I spent like quite a lot of time yesterday looking through like the simulations and like seeing what's going on. And like, I've definitely identified that there's something going wrong in the item drop system that I'm not quite happy with. And hopefully, if we fix that, it'll make this the wisps feel better.
Cool.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm going to be probably spending a few hours on this morning to see if we can come up.
Wisps suck dick right now. Very big fucking juicy beanie dick. So I fucking ignore wisps. They suck so bad that I just ignore them. Which is a pain because I was excited about them when they announced them earlier when the game, the patch was going to be released. But it sucks very big dick. You know what is awesome, dude? A unique map that I did. This shit. The megalith for that you do a boss gauntlet and you kill 10 bosses in a row. Like they spawn a boss, you kill it, they spawn another boss, you kill it, 10 bosses in a fucking row, and at the end you fight 2 bosses at the same time. That is fucking awesome. This is one of the cool new things, dude. I hope I can find a lot of this because it is fucking cool.
Some kind of improvement there.
Cool. A lot of people have been asking about the EU server issues.
Oh yes, EU is having a lot of problem with the servers, dude. Last night I played and dropped 3 Divine Orb naturally. Brother, you are lucky as fuck. I have not dropped a single Divine Orb naturally right now, dude. Okay, I gotta scroll through wisps. What, a scroll of wisdom?
I don't know if there's a specific...
Yeah, so that's
thing
just
you could say?
DDoSes, unfortunately, that are very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
They need to seriously get Rarity off the game. They legit had a lot of bugs and unintended issues with Rarity and Quantity in the past. They took Quantity out but replaced it with Rarity now. You know what, Russell? I had planned, like in the plan before the stream, I say, all right, I'm going to talk about this. I am going to watch this video. I am going to talk about this. Among the things that I have planned that I am going to talk about after this video is talking about Rarity and loot drops. So we will get there, dude. We will get there. So you are on point about that, by the way.
Like, there is unfortunately not like a complete solution to DDoSing on the internet. If someone's really doing that stuff. So it isn't a question.
It is a DDoS. It is not this. So apparently it is not that the servers suck, but they are getting DDoS in Europe. Why the fuck would people DDoS them, dude? That is so weird. Why would you DDoS Path of Exile in Europe? Maybe because they are unhappy about the patch and they want to sabotage them somehow. I don't know. And it also affects the balancing. Yes, it does. Scroll of Wisdom, this lucky motherfucker. I just trash Rarity items now, well, man, unless they got other good stats. I don't even care about Magic Find at all now. I disenchant fucking everything. I'll be honest, guys. And this is one of the things that I hate about PoE, by the way. If you really want to know, yes, what do you think sucks about PoE? This is one thing that I think sucks about PoE. The game is too balanced around trading. You guys know that I started SSF and I had to drop it and I changed back to trading because I was honestly getting pissed off in the end game, not in the campaign, in the end game towards gearing, because you don't find stuff useful that is useful for you in SSF, and crafting sucks dick, right? So when you are in trading, the game is totally balanced around trading. I don't even look at items to equip them in trading. I look at everything in terms of, am I able to sell this item for currency? Do I disenchant this item? Or do I just leave it in the ground? Because my items are not going to come from the ground. My items are going to come from trading. All my items, always, all the time, come from trading. I don't craft an item. I don't drop an item. I always trade for my items. And I don't think that is how the game should be. And if it is how you think the game should be, then put the motherfucker auction house in the fucking game. If you are supposed to gear through trading. And if you are not supposed to gear through trading, then make drops better and make crafting better. And that is the honest to God truth about this shit. If you wanted to hear me say something seriously that I hate about the fucking game, is that. Before fans and last epoch fans. Blizzard versus DDoSing. Blizzard really doesn't motherfuckers. Yes, you play in La Epoch. Of course, Diego, of course. That will happen 100%. I don't know how long. I don't know if I will clear all the end game or whatever, but I will try it. I will try it for sure. I started Hardcore Solo Senfao. It took me farming forever and I can't progress and have the stock because of gear progression. Exactly. SSF is not in a good state right now. It is, in my opinion. Unless you are a streamer and you can play the whole fucking day, SSF, if you have a job and you have a limited amount of time to play the game, SSF is not viable, dude. It is a pain in the ass. It is better to just fucking trade, dude. You save a lot of fucking time by trading.
For more servers or anything like that. It's just entirely like, you know, the nightly DDoS comes along and like takes out like 5 or 6 machines, and then if you're having to play on those machines, then that happens, and then they move on to another 5, and you know, like that kind of thing. It's just like very annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look, we are investigating more options to try and improve that, but that is the source of that.
Have it so I can open up my passive tree and see like import builds or overlay classes over it. So as a newer
People have been asking for this shit for ages, by the way, to be able to import builds directly to Path of Exile 2. Like if you have the build on your PoE, you import it directly to Path of Exile. People have been asking for this shit for ages. I don't know if they will eventually do it, by the way. I don't know. Would I like it if they do it? It is an Avara addition. It gives you a lot of convenience, but also it makes people more eager to try a build that is given to them, right? Because it is easier to put it into the game. So it has its drawbacks, but it is also convenient. And if you don't like it, you are not forced to use it. And it is there for people that want to use it. So yeah, why not? Put it into the game, dude. My game is lagging like crazy, dude. Last Epoch will be so good, and only issue I feel is the server stability. Let's hope they learn their lesson from the actual launch where the servers were crashing like crazy. I've been farming so long and I still have my campaign gear. Lol. Yes, SSF is stupid. La Epoch will have its time this coming update. It's gonna dethrone PoE for a while. Are you sure about that, Carlo? Maybe, probably, it can happen. But I don't know the amount of retention it will have. It will spike at the launch, right? But I don't know about the retention long term. What it will cause is that PoE numbers can probably go down. But then if Last Epoch doesn't have that retention and their numbers go down again, that those people are not coming back to PoE. So it is going to go down in both games until both games come up with new content. But hey, No Rest for the Wicked is also launching new content. And guys, I know you don't care about this, and maybe I will try it for 1 or 2 days, but Diablo 4 is launching a season this month. Like Diablo 4 Season 8 is coming this month. I know that nobody cares, that people are even more excited about the No Rest for the Wicked patch than the Diablo 4 patch. But hey, I have to give you the news. It is happening. There is a new season for Diablo this month. SSF, and especially hardcore SSF, is for people who can play all day, in my opinion. As a normal person, Trade League is the way to go. Yes, I agree completely with you guys. I agree 100% because I experienced it myself. Hacking can be a huge issue here. Okay. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Last Epoch. The game is kind of mean, not gonna lie. Yes, I like it. I think the game is cool. But I do think, and the changes they are putting into the game look cool too. But I think that a lot of people are overhyping it, and a lot of the overhype is because they are mad about PoE 2 right now, and they will realize after 2 weeks playing Last Epoch that they already did everything and they are going to drop the game. What I'm telling you is that the game is good. It will still give you 1 or 2 weeks of solid entertainment, but it doesn't have the staying power or the retention that the first league, the launch for PoE 2 had. No way in fucking hell. Maybe I will be proven wrong. Let's see what happens. I am not saying it hating on Last Epoch. All the contrary, I love it. I want to play it. I will play it. I am just trying to be pragmatic and analytic about this, you know, analytical.
player, I would have like a really good idea of where to go on this gigantic ass tree.
So this is a thing, and I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we made this feature a while ago, and I can't even remember whether or not we enabled it. Is it even? I don't even know if it's live. We actually did make a feature where you could get a build file from. I think it's probably not live then. Probably if
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
We've never heard of
that
it.
sounds
Yeah.
cool.
So the idea was that you could download a build file and then set that as your thing, and then it would highlight all the nodes of that.
So yes, they are thinking about actually doing it, dude. So well, a lot of people are going to have their wish come true. I don't mind it one way or the other, but I think it will encourage people more to just look up for a build and not make their own build, because it will be a lot easier to do. But we can, at this point, we can't expect this feature to come up at some point, dude.
Build.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that'd be amazing. And then you could make like some pre-default ones for new players that are just like super basic but get you.
Well,
through it
here's the
and,
thing. That's the part that I don't want to do.
Hey! They cut out the shit, dude. He doesn't want to do giving the players, the new players, the template. Why? Why aren't you letting me see that? Hey, Poppy! I don't like the Lakers, not gonna lie. I'm a big Steph fan and my second favorite is Nikolai. Okay. So then fuck the Lakers. They are going to get destroyed by the Timberwolves. What is that bullshit, dude? And they say you can do crazy shit in this game, dude.
Actually, it's not. The vision is. I can't see.
Like, I'm not gonna just believe someone when they say this is bad. I'm gonna like say, okay, so you're telling me that's bad. Great. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna try and get to a situation where I can understand why you're feeling this way. Because if I
Okay, this is basically the same as the question we saw earlier that I already told this can be interpreted as a good thing or as a bad thing. So it depends on how you look at it, dude. It's a bug, they fix it though. Okay, they fixed, there was a crazy bug and they fixed it, but I have heard people say that it is still strong after the bug, right? But that still lightning speed is fucking better.
I don't do that and we just make random from the hip changes, then you know, it's not going to result in a game that I'm happy with, and that's kind of important because, you know, like I'm, you know, in order to make the game good, it's really important that the people who are at the top level are playing that game every day. So, you know, like I have to be making a game that I'm enjoying. So effectively, like I need to be finding the things that are going to like make the game more fun for me and the players without making it less fun for me effectively. So that's kind of the key for me, I suppose.
So, like, I'm gonna go like on my thing, and I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna recombinate this crossbow like this. There's this crafting in the game. Like, I can go like a +7 here, and then I can click this button here, and there's 3 point. That's not good.
I'll be honest, I was excited about the recombination shit, but now that it is in the game, it sucks dick because of the odds and because you have to farm expedition to get the shit, right? You can probably buy the expedition shit in the auction house, in the currency exchange, but still it is extra friction and the odds are really fucking bad. So yeah, as an idea, recombination is fucking awesome. The implementation kind of sucks dick. Is the interview shit over? Because I don't care about anything else. I care about the interview. Okay, there is a part here about the interview.
Right? Like, you know, like sure, we call it early access and that it is, right? Like that is a label that does something as far as like player expectations is concerned, and that is important. But at the end of the day, you still have to deliver a product that people are enjoying. So, yeah, I mean, from that perspective, like I can't be unhappy when people are like, I can't use the excuse of, oh, it's just early access when I'm talking to players, because
fucking based.
At the end of the day, like that's not a constructive thing for me to even say. Like, it's like, I need to be like, okay, well, what's the issue? Let's try and find out what you don't like, right?
Exactly. Based. That is fucking based, dude. And that has another layer, right? that is that people pay. People pay them, and when people pay for something, they feel entitled to some form of addressing the issues, right? Because it is not a free game. It is not a free early access. You had to pay to get access to the early access, effectively making people feel like they yes, the sense of entitlement, right? And they are not entirely wrong in that sentiment. What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless ya. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.